that button below it that you hit, the white one.
This?
Sorry.
I got big giant problems, Andy.
I saw a different light change for different, I'm like, that's not the red button, so.
You can see the way I try and type on my phone.
I don't know how you guys do it with fingernails the way you guys have that. I couldn't, I don't know how that even works. You're up and on. I guess.
Is that what the flashlights do?
We already have the flashlights.
Where we at?
Yeah, those holsters. They're right there, TLR7. So the holsters are designed for an optic and for the flashlight we already have.
But we have the flashlight.
We got 90 of them downstairs, and we had some of those back.
You do wearing this thing Friday, 10 pinwheels. I'm not DB.
Yeah, I know.
Pinwheel for prevention. Is that new? You just want to have our commissioner meeting at 10, finish it off at 10?
Sure.
But work session Friday at 10.
Friday.
You want to go up see Shane on Thursday?
No, I wish I could, but my Thursday is jam packed. Meeting every hour.
I have a conflict there.
You getting the pipe all down there this
Jeff,
weekend?
Jerry will handle that.
What pipe's that? Oh, your pipe over there on the, yeah. Went all right.
I said once Udi wants to go, but he's
Yeah.
surprised.
One side, Tom did what he did the other side. I didn't get things. Yeah. Everything good, George? Doing good. How's your problem going? Haven't heard much ever since, is he out? Did he see the? It should be.
Good morning.
Morning.
The High Street traffic got me.
Yeah. I took Church Street. Shouldn't tell everybody that. I said I shouldn't tell everybody that because now High Street or Church Street.
Oh, yeah.
It's where Udi's in the traffic now.
Is he? Don't cut any slack.
Nope. We don't punish those that are on time.
That's right.
Right at 9 o'clock. Call the March 30th County Commissioners meeting to order with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure. Yes. I wanted to bring over, we had tried to get the one weapons which were the tactical Tupperware weapons.
The Glock or
The Glocks, yeah, we were trying to get the Glocks. They sold us a platform, they delivered us a platform that was not the one we agreed to, which you couldn't sight through the optics if the optics didn't come on, you couldn't sight. We went with Smith and they have made a proposal for the 90 handguns, $81,180. The holsters is a total of $15,600 and some, for a total of $96,861.
You got that in your budget?
Trade-in value is $18,900. So that leaves us a balance of $77,961. We have $65,000 plus some change in our budget for that, so we're about $13,000 short. These guns are needed. Nobody's gonna set the 320s on the range after the State Patrol gets rid of theirs, which they're going to the Smiths. The state institutions are not gonna allow the 320s on the range because of the alleged problems they have with them. I say alleged, but they have problems with them, and we're gonna, for safety's sake, and I think for liability purpose, we gotta get away from them guns and transition to one that's been proven to be effective and not have something bad happen and somebody ultimately have a lot of liability on it.
Is there a significant difference in the handguns that your deputies would have a preference one over the other?
I'll let Zach's our range master, I'll let him address that.
We've trialed and looked at a couple different platforms. The Smith & Wesson is by far the one that the majority of people like. They shoot it well. It's well innovated and again tested by a lot of other state agencies, both here in Ohio and throughout the nation. In our experience, it's better than the Glock would have been. If we would have went with the Glock, it would have been a compromise. It's an okay platform. This is superior to that, and I think we need to give our folks the best we can possibly give them to operate and work with. So this fits the bill for what we want and what we use and hopefully hang on to for a while. This gun's been out in service for a while. There's no indication that they're going to be discontinuing it or changing it. In fact, other agencies keep adopting it, so it's going to be viable for the future.
And the Glock had a certain optic on it, and you had to replace it with that certain optic. So if they didn't keep making that optic in the future, and one of them broke, it would be hard. You would have to get a new plate, new optic, and then it would be totally different from the rest of the gun. So we chose this because this optic is interchangeable. I mean, you can use other optics on it if you have to, in the gun the way it is.
So 9mm shells, a 9mm shell at the current store of ammunition?
Yes. We have ammunition on hand. Also, it's going to be a transitioning period that we're going to have to train with, but we got money in our concealed handgun licensing fees that we can purchase the ammo out of there. That's what we make our ammo purchase out of. So, this is pretty much priced, other than $13,000 that we would have to.
So you're asking for an appropriation of $13,000?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nice Guy?
Where you gonna get the $13,000 from?
That's why I'm here, asking you. My budget's tight.
Well, our budget's tight too.
Well, I brought Gary here. Our population is jacked up again. I'll let him explain where we're at with that.
Yeah, I think the reason you wanted me to talk to you is you guys want to see some bills, because we're housing inmates at other counties now. This morning, 151, last Monday was 160. give you an idea, we're approved for 116 to hold. So we're well over that. We can manage, but bed space is tight right now. And last week we were actually down to 3 or 4 beds on a given day. And we're averaging, like over the weekend, we're averaging getting over 20 inmates, new inmates every weekend. Now the judges are working with us and people are getting out, getting bonded and OR. But we're breaking even.
How many inmates you have from other jurisdictions?
We have no.
We're not holding anybody.
We're
Not holding
Nobody
anybody,
else right
okay.
now.
holding our own.
I mean, you know, they're not all Ross County. Now, they're city, OSP, marshals, all those bring people to our jail. But yeah, they're all Ross County as far as court system.
And like you said, 115 is our population, but we'll hold up to 150, but you also got to look at the weekends. We move 9 out the weekends. If you're 155 and you get 20, 25 in, we're overpopulated for the staffing and everything else. It gets dangerous to have that many people.
It's a little more tense over there right now with this population than it was just a couple weeks ago when we were in the 120s.
Why the surge?
Huh?
Why the surge in inmates?
Well, one thing, the municipal court judges are giving citizens, you know, they're holding people accountable, and I understand that, and I agree with that. To a degree, I agree with that. You know, if you're going to come into a crime, you walk away from it, nothing done, you're going to continue, the recidivism is going to continue, and more people are going to come to Ross County because guess what? But I think the municipal judges are doing, but in the meantime, we're a limited number space jail. Every county that has the space we do and the population is having an overcrowding, you know, so unfortunately that's where we're at.
Well, I don't think it's just the municipal county or
No, it's
municipal judges sentencing people all of a sudden last week.
No, but I mean, it's come up. Our number since Miller became Judge 2, and with him and Washburn, I'm telling you, we've seen the gradual increase, and it keeps steadily climbing, because before they wasn't given the sentences that they're given now. You know, somebody goes into court and disrespects the court, they get 30 days straight off the bat. You know, contempt of court, 30 days they sit in jail. I mean, they don't get out. So.
I think part of the answer to your question is probably warm weather. There's more people
I was
out.
gonna let you say that,
There's
but
more
I'm
people
sitting
out,
here.
more contact with law enforcement, and
We're out drinking.
the rest are up.
Just more felonies being committed.
Yeah, but I look at the cases every morning as far as who came to jail, so I know what they came to jail for. And it's not like the ones come to jail don't need to come to jail, you know, for the most part. It's just, that's what the numbers are right now. And we're tight for space, and that's why we have some being held at Fayette County now. You know, we just want you guys to know you're gonna see that bill. It's not cheap, $85 per inmate per day up there.
And I'm talking to every legislator. I want a jail. I've talked to all of them. You know, if they can help us to finance a jail, I'm talking to all of them. I think if we had a 400-bed facility, not only would this pay for all of our needs, but you know, the incoming counties would support it.
Well, I think we need to have an offline session about city contributions to inmates.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Just file them under state charges.
I agree.
There's gotta be a way around it.
And you know, because they took care of the medical too. Of course, when your inmate population climbs, guess what? Your mills go down a little bit, but you still pay more mills, but your health care goes up tremendously because you're taking people to the hospital, people get hurt. Took one over to Fayette County, he ran him out and got beat up. You know, that's hospital bill, but thank God.
Yeah, we had 2 hospital stays this weekend.
But the municipal courts released him.
Yeah, we got them furloughed, but we had one at OSU for a time period, and then the one from Fayette was going to go to Grant, and I think did go to Grant, but not on us. 'Cause
And the judges work with us on that, they're very good.
Now my question is gonna be, what weapons are you carrying now?
We are carrying the SIG 320.
That's not supposed to be used.
Those are the ones that they said was a misfire in the service. There was a misfire where somebody got hurt out of it. And it turned around that that guy had lied and stuff, the one that had the misfire, but everybody still says that they will not allow SIG on their property since the patrol, once the patrol goes to them, we can't go to any state trading agency with a 320, they will not allow it on their property.
We got range out on Senior Road.
But we got training, we got instructors and stuff, has to go training, BCI. Any farm training that where somebody goes to BCI farm, they are not gonna allow it, state patrol is not gonna allow it. Nobody's gonna let it on the range other than us, and you know, again, if somebody gets hurt off of something that's been said, where's your liability? Your liability's high.
Our liability's gonna be high now because the deputies are still carrying the same weapon that says they're not supposed to be carrying it.
Well, but we got to change over that.
I mean, so.
And we're
I mean,
doing everything humanly possible to get that changed. We had 90 guns come in. They weren't what they agreed to us that they were going to be, that they brought us down demoed. They weren't the same. We traded them back. We immediately got a hold of Smith. We're trying our best to get away from the 320 platform. We made every effort to try. So if somebody gets hurt in the meantime, they can't say we're not trying. We're just sitting back and not doing anything.
Yeah, the reality is that site miscue with, that just was bad form for them trying to sell something they couldn't.
Yeah. And you know, the 320 is a great gun. It really is. It really is a good gun. But now it's labeled. And once it's labeled, if something happens, we're under that. We're under that cloak now. So whatever happens, we become responsible.
And it's taken, I mean, Highway Patrol switching to this platform that we're looking at, but it's taken them the same amount of time to come to the same conclusion. Basically, they had to go start from scratch again and start testing guns, evaluating guns, and they came to the conclusion about the same time we did that this is the platform. And granted, we didn't base our decisions solely on the Highway Patrol, but it took a while to figure out what was going to work. A gun's not a gun anymore when you got different holsters and lights and lasers and all these things. You have to almost tailor make it to what's going to work for us, because what works for us and works for the Highway Patrol is similar. And they chose this platform with, I think, 1 or 2 modifications that we don't need. It's not going to benefit us. So, but we were all in the same boat. We weren't expecting this platform to fail like it did. So.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Hmm?
No, I don't have it.
Do we have a motion to approve 13,000 for purchase of these weapons?
Yeah, I have no problem with it. I think, sounds like you've checked in with Jeff or yourselves on what you've got in your budget, and that would have been my question with it is, what's the gap on the budget? It's something, to me, it sounds like we have to do, and really 13,000 in the grand scheme of all things is not.
Can you use FOJ for this?
No.
Okay. Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Appropriation given. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, Chief.
See you, Sheriff.
Hey.
What is there?
How you doing, sir?
Full motion to approve last week's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bills for the week, $1,265,163.77. Bulk of that was grant money and ATDP for the planning commission of $966,190. Engineer had road repair on Musgrove, $62,000. Commissioners AEP bill $34,000, and then the auditor had $84,000 on the common pleas, Vision Government Solutions, whatever that is.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then and now, $30,699.41. Salt, we had paid for salt, $15,000. $9,000 bill for Compass Integration.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No appropriations or transfers, which is a sign the budget's working as submitted. That's pretty good. I think it's the first time I remember we didn't have one. Asset disposal, sheriff's office, 9mm pistols, 6 Sawyer. Retire purchase. Deputy that retired got that pistol, so that's why it's on this floor. So. Gamma, did you get yours?
I got mine.
Okay.
I got mine. But now they're saying the guns are unsafe, so you're gonna sell it to a guy for $1, a gun's unsafe.
He wants
Is
it.
this guy gonna come back and eat us? If something happens to that gun, or somebody gonna come back and get us? If something happens to that gun misfires?
I don't know the answer to that.
I would
don't know
say
what
the,
life
I would
is.
say the answer that we're concerning ourselves with is it safe for an officer to operate while on official duty? Serving the public in a public setting is different than somebody with a personal weapon.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye. But I.
I mean, that's,
No, it's the
that's
right
what
question,
we,
and
that's what
yeah.
we got, that's what we need to look at. That's the same thing, that's why I asked George, I said, well, what weapons is he carrying now? If their weapons are unsafe, why are we still carrying them?
We don't have any other guns yet. I mean, the answer to that's pretty simple, but you can't go out there unarmed. Right? I mean, what's the other alternative?
Well, the sheriff sat there and said that the guy who said that the gun misfired lied, and it really didn't misfire, but now everybody's saying, oh, we gotta change guns because it misfired,
Chicken Little, yeah.
you know?
I get you.
No, I get you too. I think that that's probably a case of.
You know, I like to give sheriff all the money and everything he needs to just fight the crime in the county, but, you know, it,
Yeah, it's,
Bill? Return? Bill?
who?
Bill?
Yes. Bill Coffey, yeah. Yep. Okay. I can't see it there.
They're doing that today, I think. Isn't that right? His retirement today?
Well, I don't know, is it today?
I think that's why he had to come over early. Now what he told us, Kathy, the sheriff?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's picking up food or something for his retirement party over there today.
Oh, didn't mention that while he was sitting here.
Maybe didn't want you there.
I would be surprised if he didn't want you there.
Yeah.
we have a couple,
I'm glad everybody laughed.
Brought me down there.
a change order for the UNESCO construction project for change to the sign. There's no expense to the Board of Commissioners for these changes. Just need authorization to do so.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hey, pop down on Church Street next week. I zoomed right down. That high street. I learned it too many times last week. It's a mess.
The thing was, is nobody, you can't go west on High Street, west on 35 from High Street. And there was cars backed up trying to take a left-hand turn on
Yeah.
High Street to go up on 35, go east on 35. The people was backed up. And then, I said, okay, no problem. People was backed up here. I'm thinking, there's a big sign that says road closed, and there's a guy still sitting there. I'm thinking, you gonna do a U-turn, or what are you gonna do? So when I made that right-hand turn and go south on High Street, as soon as I got past Church Street, the traffic was backed up.
Yeah, well,
It was backed up all the way down there.
when I came through, it was backed up all the way at the gas station.
Oh, see, it wasn't,
I like the second you got past, like got into town, it was, I was like, oh man, I can tell, I don't want anything to do with this.
Do you understand why they closed that off?
clue.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
None whatsoever.
I just saw on the news this morning, 315 north of 270 is up to Home Road, is closed for 4 months. That's gonna be a
Nightmare.
gargantuan, yeah.
Well, they're talking about Thanksgiving for southbound on Bridge Street.
Yeah.
Well, that sign at High Street, I think, says 270 days.
Yeah.
But I figure they're gonna open it up after Thanksgiving, or during Thanksgiving, so Christmas break, and then close it again like they usually do.
Oh, they've got another round of this coming in next spring.
Yeah.
Bridge Street will be worked on again next spring.
Let's get through this before we get to our next 9:30 appointment. We're not gonna solve the street problem. Bainbridge water line replacement, this is a pay application approval form for payment number 3 for the Bainbridge water line replacement project. This is the amount of $314,894.94. This is brand new.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have a resolution here approving the execution of 3 community reinvestment area agreements between county and Cohen Orthopedic. These are just the resolutions we have to submit to get that thing started.
Yep. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Yeah, I did it.
And we have a notification here for May 4th, 11:30 to 1:00. That's during our meeting time for the Pineapple Awards at Christopher Conference Center, April 15th.
May 4th.
May the 4th.
RSVP.
Oh,
by-
PRVP by April 15th, right, May 4th, sorry about that.
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, and yes, and yes.
And notification for Pinwheel for prevention this Friday, and this is at noon. So we're gonna have our work session at 10 o'clock noon here.
Okay.
Couple of proclamations here. One is for Child Abuse Neglect Prevention Month, and it's to be presented this Friday at the Pinwheel for Prevention proclamation. Motion to sign.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Maybe we got one. Brought it out of retirement.
And we have another proclamation here honoring Wiley Smith of Union Oda for achievements and record career at Union Oda. I talked to Kathy this morning and Sarah about, the teams, boys and girls teams went pretty far in the state ones too. So we're thinking about,
You know she's Miss Ohio and
yeah, team one player of the year. It's on here.
Co-player of the year.
Co-player of the year.
I think if we're gonna do that, I think we need to contact Union Oda. That's it. She can release her from school to come down here to get that.
We were thinking about the awards banquet presenting there.
Which
We're
they're,
gonna find out when that is.
okay.
So that would be the teams and her
Okay.
proclamations.
You want me to ask about that? I could probably find that out
Okay.
really quickly.
So I have a motion to sign Wiley's here?
Yes.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I think there was a Huntington wrestler that went pretty far in the state too. I think the board needs to get that. I know that when I was at the branch, I got one from Chillicothe Mayor. That's pretty special for a young person, I think.
I seen a kid in Chillicothe. They had their first track meet of the year was Chillicothe Spring or Chillicothe over the weekend. This kid broke the high jump record on the very first track meet.
Is that what you were telling me about this morning?
Yeah, Grace is his coach. Yep.
6'8".
6'8".
I'm thinking, very first meet of the year, this kid breaks the record.
Yep.
We'll wait till his season's over and
Sophomore.
Yeah.
include it all.
Yeah.
That's jumping over my head. I'm from
Yeah.
that guy.
6'8", yeah.
Yeah.
They had it online, you could watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it, yeah.
Amazing.
He cleared it by a good 4 inches.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
He started the season.
That's
really
all
good
I said.
that
I
last
looked at him
year.
thinking, wait a minute, this is the first track meet of the year, and this kid breaks the,
Yeah.
He's got a full scholarship in his future.
somewhere.
Good kid too.
Yeah.
I bet if I was trying really hard, I could jump 3 feet.
Commissioner's high jump day. That sounds like a good video.
And I would still be afraid I'd hurt myself.
I probably would.
Yeah, that's jumping over my head with 2 inches of spare, 3 inches if you ask my wife. All right, we got 2 minutes before time starts here, so.
We can add a clause to this contract that Ariel and I will do high jumps if you sign it.
Very badly. It'll be horrible. I will break every bone in my body.
You're tall, you can do it.
I'm tall, but that's about the extent of it.
Because we're tall, we've never had to learn how to jump.
I was just there.
I think they measured my vertical leap in high school with a credit card.
I ran track and cross country in college about 80 pounds ago, and our best high jumper on a college team was jumping 7 foot.
Yeah.
So if he's doing 6'8" as a sophomore in high school, that is incredible.
I ran track 1 season in high school to stay in shape with football. I wasn't that good at football either. My coach had me run the 400. Well, the 400 is about the hardest possible run, especially if you've never practiced or trained for the 400. Because
It's a long sprint.
it's a long sprint. And I read, no, I didn't read. I said, well, what's the strategy on 400? He said, you
Come
start off
first.
strong, you lag around the corners, and then you finish strong. Well, by the time I was lagging around the first quarter, I was out of breath. I almost didn't finish it.
Forget that kick stuff. This feels good lagging.
That was the only meet they put me in.
I played volleyball, we had to run for punishment, so.
Well, that was I was a football player. I didn't want to run.
Well, Patrick Ariel, I got 9:30, so
All right.
you're on.
We appreciate you having us back.
Yep.
You asking for money too?
We are asking for money.
There's the door.
Here's the contract if you would like it. Looks like we already have one.
I got one somewhere.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, great.
Well, better to print too many out than not print enough out.
Yeah.
So, we're coming with a proposal for a contract for next fiscal year for public defender services. We're proposing staffing remaining consistent with how it is right now. The primary change in the contract is an additional amount of space over on the, in the building, because we are double bunking in a couple offices, which harms productivity, harms efficiency. The staff is doing an excellent job nonetheless, no questions about that, but being able to get a little extra space will help us do a better job and better serve clients. So the total contract amount is for just under $2.5 million. That's a 3.9% increase over last year's total cost. The reimbursement rate is estimated to be 80% this year, which gives the county a share of 20% of the total, which comes to $491,000. But we do have a just under $40,000 carryover, which I'm happy to talk to you about. What that means is the multi-county contract budget that we have at the OPD funds the work we do in 10 counties. We've always had to have some reserve in that to cover payroll, et cetera, but because the reimbursement rate has been historically high now for 5 years, we're able to make that reserve a little lower and maintain our operations, and we're reimbursing or refunding counties that we've contracted with for that extra reserve. So after the carryover, we're coming to a total contract that we're proposing to you of around $452,272, which is a 6.4% increase over last year. The main driver for that is the office space. The last detail I'll give you on that is we are still negotiating a lease with the landlord. If for some reason we're unable to successfully negotiate that lease, we will reimburse the county for the extra money. So we're not asking. We don't have it finalized yet, and as soon as we have more information, come back to you and reimburse if we need to. Happy to answer any questions you have.
What floor are you on? What floor are you on?
We're on the 4th and the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Do you know the square footage that you need additionally?
It's 1,500 square feet. I believe it's
1,556.
Yes, thank you. No, sorry, that would allow us to have a conference room as well, since we are unable to fit everybody in a conference room at this point in time.
Okay, so is that in addition to the 1556?
No, that's included.
Do you have an area there by the current offices that you're looking at?
Yes, that's correct. It's right on the 4th floor, right down the hall from us.
We're just tossing around, moving the prosecutor over there as a contingency plan.
I do know that the entire basement has been remodeled down there as well, so that
Yeah,
would
we
probably
saw
be.
that. We toured the whole building.
Yeah.
We took the prosecutor down there last week. That's one of the things I was going to talk to you about today. We really need to get him to make a decision, but they have done even more in the basement since we were there.
Okay.
They laid all new floor.
I like that basement. I mean, that basement.
I think Jeff liked it
Very
too.
nice.
That basement's pretty sweet.
He did have some concerns though about being on the same floor as those folks, you know, because you don't really want the prosecutor there and,
What I'm driving at there is if we're gonna move the prosecutor over, I think that's a negotiation point
Yeah.
for this additional space and maybe even your whole lease. So, when is your lease up over there, do you know?
I think we're through 2028.
28.
I'm not entirely sure. But what I can tell you is that we proposed leasing the additional space at our current square footage rate. And that is
We attempted to negotiate a right of first refusal, I think because they're getting interest from a couple other tenants. They're not interested in the right of first refusal, but when we do have money available in July, we would seek to rent the space. They've expressed interest in doing that. If it falls through, we would let you know as quickly as possible, and we would make sure that our quarterly payments don't include that additional space. I can't imagine we'd be competing with the prosecutor for the same space.
No.
Because we're asking for very
For such a small amount, yeah.
additional office space near what we already have. So it would maybe fit in a solo attorney, but it would not fit a prosecutor's office.
I know the current tenants there in the county are on an escalating scale year over year until, I think, 2028 or 29, to get to a current average square foot price downtown. Because it was well below that. I mean, we were getting a good deal.
Yep.
And the new owners are putting money into the building, therefore the escalating costs. But so you need this ASAP, you need this July.
The signed contract?
Well,
Or the space?
The space.
We would like the space as soon as possible, but we are contracting with you to have money for the space in July. If you'd be interested in allowing us to move into the space sooner, I could talk to our fiscal officer about potentially creating an addendum to our existing contract, but we're planning for July.
So I'll make a motion to approve this contract.
I have to,
I'll give him a hammer if it gets too nasty.
I'm trying to figure this new eyes out, so I just, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll cut you some slack.
Okay. I can't read the thing if I don't have the glasses on, so, I gotta get used to putting glasses on to read.
Yeah, the LASIK surgery.
Yeah, cataract surgery and the basics, and I might as well put it all weather in there.
We're all better off, by the way.
I don't know about all that.
I'm about a year away from bifocals, so my future will look similar.
My optometrist always tells me I'm going blind every time she sees me, so.
It's the stress of the job.
Yeah. It doesn't help that I read for fun on top of all the reading I do for work, so. Goes up every time.
Fiscal year 2027 will start in July.
Yes, July 1st through July 1st, 26th through June 30th, 27.
$452,272. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. It's usually not that easy.
No, it's not.
He's made a promise to be good.
We appreciate that.
So we can get this back to Columbus to get it signed, and then we'll send you a copy via mail, or I'll send a copy to Ariel and she can hand deliver to you.
Sounds like it works.
All right, we appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Do you want a copy of the website?
Yeah, I need a copy before they take it. I'll make you a copy real quick.
All right, we'll just stand outside.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all. We really appreciate it.
Sorry.
All right, I think that completes our work. When you
Let's see.
April 6th at 7 is the banquet.
What is it?
April 6th at 7.
Ooh, that's next week. It's Tuesday. That's Unionota?
Yeah.
would have been held at?
At Uniota. At
And narrow it
the-
down a little closer than just plain old Union.
Well, you know the area outside the gym, that,
Yeah.
Cafetorium, as they call it, I think,
Cafetorium,
yeah.
that's where they always have had them before, but I'll confirm.
Okay.
So I talked to you a little bit about the prosecutor's office. I don't know how to I don't know how to push him to make a decision. Are you
We
guys
won't-
set on moving him?
We won't push him to make a decision, we'll go ahead and push it anyway.
Okay.
You don't have to be satisfied with it.
Well, he went down, we looked on all the floors that they had available, and we looked in the basement. And then we walked out into, you know, those stairs that go in from Paint Street and go down
Yeah.
on the outside, that was pretty cool. We looked at the whole place. And, you know, I think he wants to bring some of his staff there too to look at it, but I don't know. But, you know, it's gonna be 80 degrees tomorrow, and there's no way to cool that building.
That'll help his decision.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, so.
So we gotta line it up with landlord and all that.
Yeah. And what they did downstairs was really nice. I mean, put new flooring in, it really looks nice. We talked about, you know, when you walk into that room, there's offices on the left side there, no, right side. And then you turn that corner and there's that big long hallway. And we talked about maybe some, not walls, but petitions.
Petitions.
Yeah, in there, so kind of break up the space for the secretaries or whatever, their assistants. But I think he was pleased with what was there. But I'll send him an email and tell him we talked about it this morning and need to decide what we're doing there, because I gotta get Andy to move the IT stuff.
Andy's price went up quite a bit on that.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah,
So
it's not to $10,000-$20,000.
more like,
Put a zero on there.
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
But don't we already have some over there already?
We won't know. I think Andy has.
Well, it's juvenile court.
He has a little bit, but I think he sends that signal across from the courthouse over there, beams it over there. There's nothing. Yeah, there's no wired stuff. And then you're gonna be in the basement too, so that's not gonna work. Well, I don't wanna push him if you're not ready. What's that?
I'd hold off on pushing them. I mean, I think we need to figure something out, but we're just not there yet.
This dance has several steps. We gotta figure out the rest of the dance moves here.
Okay.
But it's top of mind for sure.
Well, that's why we had him, set him up to go down there and meet with us last
Yeah,
week.
because we're always in danger of them leasing the office space out to somebody else.
Right.
In the basement.
Did he bring his other in command?
No, he didn't. He was on a cruise or something, I think, that last week, the week that we took him. I think it was last week.
Because he's only gonna be there until December.
I know. I think that's what he wants to do, is bring some other folks down there and kind of figure out what kind of office space, who gets what they would do.
Okay.
But if you're not ready to do that, make that call, so I won't push him.
Just,
I just know once it gets hot, they're gonna start raising hell.
yeah.
We'll set them bake tomorrow and see what happens.
Okay. I think I copied you on some of the box hanger appraisal stuff, so you can see what's going on there. Austin and I are meeting this week to just kind of go through what that guy asked for, and I think that'll be moving along. I did have a conversation with Betsy Moore last week. She had talked to you, right, Judy, about the sewer project. She was wondering why she had stakes in the middle of her yard, and we said, that actually is the right of way. And she said, but they're in the middle of the yard. I said, you might want to check your deed.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did. They surveyed all that right according to the thing. And she wanted to know about connecting, and I said, that's probably not going to happen in this phase, but could happen down the road.
So I know she was talking about, they got rental property that's,
One rental on that one side, on the east side, going north, yeah. Courthouse restoration, we had a meeting with them last week. Told them again, 4 phases, they're ready to go. They asked about continuing the plans for the rest, and I said, well, we contracted you to do that. She was gonna look at the contract, as I said, I'm pretty sure that when we contracted for the price that you gave us to design, and this was last week, that the old jail was in that too. So I'd like to have a set of plans for all of it, and that way, as we move forward, if things change or you don't fund it one year, at least you've got the drawings to do.
Yeah.
Since that's what we paid.
Yeah, that's what we paid for.
That's what
Yeah.
we're paying for.
Exactly.
That's what we've paid them for thus far.
Right. And they've kind of held off doing, a lot of it because we were trying to decide what to do, but
Yeah.
might as well do it. I'm working on the renewal for the cleaning service at the service center. I'm looking at those numbers. I'm gonna have a conversation. He sent something over, a proposal. He said that he thought he was losing a lot of money on supplies. And I said, well, why is that? He said, it seems like every time they put GP in one of the restrooms, somebody takes it home. I said, well, then we might have to change the type of receptacle we have there. It has locks on it where that can't happen.
Or change it to different color toilet paper and
Yeah.
make it a little rough like newspaper or something
Yeah.
like that. They will still can.
We also cambered that line we were talking about that we thought we were gonna have to cut up the floor. There's nothing in there. There's no problem, there's no bow, there's no belly, there's nothing. So it's just people shoving stuff down the toilet.
Yeah.
At the service center.
One of the bathrooms is always a problem. There is a 90 in there, but you don't have that. But a couple of years ago, we were having so much problem with it backing up that we took all the paper towels out of there and put hand dryers because they were flushing the paper towels down the toilet. Well, there's other things going down the toilet now.
It still got air dryers in it?
It still has air dryers in it.
Yeah.
And we know what's going in there because when we run the snake in there, we pull the stuff out. We pretty much say, oh, yeah. So we're working on that too. The service center project is moving along really well. They seem to be catching up on the schedule. We have a contractors, owners, and architects meeting on Tuesday. We'll probably have some pretty pictures for you from what they've done so far, but it looks good.
What's completion date on that again?
June, I think, end of June.
So I got one Ohio meeting coming up on next Tuesday, the 6th.
Next Tuesday,
Yeah. So there's gonna be a room available?
we'll get you one. That'll be April 1.
Yeah, April 7th.
April 7th. What time?
That meeting is 2:30.
Okay, I'll get that scheduled and send it to you. What else do I have? The jail Keene project's moving along. There's the company we're gonna have to get the locks and cylinders from. They sent a rep down today. He's meeting with Paul and Vic over there this morning. I think it's ready to go out to bid probably in another 2 weeks. And then hopefully the other project that we had issues with, I think everybody got a copy of that letter that Ben sent. And he wanted us to say that we approved what he had changed in there, which I think was great.
Yeah.
And that got sent, that should get sent off this week to Sutherland for them to look at. The visitor center bid opening is today. We have not received any bids, and that's kind of weird for us, but when I talked to Kim, she said some of those projects that they've been working on, they just show up with the bids here, so I'm hoping. I talked to John Saxton today of Verigy, and they're part of all those projects because we want to be able to tie our system into that. He said he had sent information to 6 different contractors, so hopefully we'll have at least 6 other ones to look. What else do I have for you? I got a pay app for the sewer project.
So we have, no bids came in on that?
No. I asked, you didn't have any, Kathy. I asked Riley this morning. She said no, she hadn't caught any, which is kind of weird. You know, usually
We're
some
supposed to open the bids at noon.
noon. Usually some come in the mail. Some people will bring them in the last minute.
Okay, we got a pay application for the sewer project,
So moved.
$282,220.41.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. That's all I've got for now.
Okay, we don't have Eric on until 10:30.
Do any of you plan to attend SEPCO's annual meeting on the 10th, April 10th?
Did you win
SEPCO, the insurance for,
Health insurance, they have a health insurance meeting
that?
every year.
Sepco up at the airport, or
Yeah.
wherever that is.
Yeah.
I think they're at Polaris this year.
That's right, it's Blair. I might go to that. I think we ought to have one commissioner there to bother Melissa.
It's, it begins at 10 a.m.,
Oh, that's
registration
Friday.
is 9:15.
And it's over when?
It's over at noon,
Noon.
it's only 2 hours now.
Yeah, if we move our commissioner meeting to 1 o'clock, we could still do both. You guys don't wanna go, or? I've been to those before.
Yeah, just leave.
It's a big way for Sepco to spend more money.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll get a free toothbrush,
Yeah, you can't count that out.
something to clean your glasses with. I mean,
Little sweet.
I got a couple of,
couple right there.
He's got enough toothbrushes.
You don't even have to.
clean your glasses, oh yeah. That's on a Friday, okay.
Yeah.
If that's all we got, I make a motion to recess.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. 10:30. So we got all the information for that appraisal on the big hangar.
We're getting close.
We're getting close.
Yeah, he sent a big email last week, and he's got some questions he wants answered. He wanted to know if we had a set of plans for the
That was nice yesterday, also.
It was, it was. I enjoyed the procession.
Yeah. It'd been a
I
couple
love
years
Father
since we
Dooley.
had been there. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It'd been a couple years since we had been there for the procession.
Yeah, and of course, normally we're over at St. Mary's more than we're at St. Peter's, but yeah, really enjoyed that.
And I do. I'm glad to have Father Dooley back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great job.
Truly a blessing for all of us.
Yeah, especially after these last few years of
Oh.
just transitions and changes.
Yeah, no, right.
He didn't do a lot with St. Mary's when he was here before, though.
No.
Probably not, but that was, we were completely two different pastors. And
Right. I'm looking forward to see, very hopeful for the next year.
Yeah.
See things. Morning, Kathy.
Morning.
At 10:30, Eric, floor is yours.
Thank you. Corsa had their spring meeting last week, and I don't know if anybody had an opportunity to see that. It was essentially a Zoom meeting. The information I just handed out was actually from the fall meeting, but I thought it appropriate because it, gives an overview of Corsa, gives a nice summary of a lot of things. This is the information from the meeting last week, and quite honestly, all I did, I took screenshots. Typically I'll try and give you just the cliff notes. I don't think you want to go through an hour or 2 hour meeting. So we're going to sum it up, hopefully in 10 minutes or less for you. So I think I've got some really good news for you from that meeting. And again, I just did some screenshots. One of the things that Corsa did, and I'll start with this information right here. One of the things they did, they are forming their own insurance company. It's a captive of Corsa, wholly owned by Corsa, and it's just simply to help Corsa not be subject to market trends and conditions. So it's another way of helping minimize the need a little bit more to go out for reinsurance. So ORCA, the Ohio Risk and County Alliance, they just established it. It goes live May 1. So to me, that's a really good thing because again, it's another way for Corsa to insulate us from what's going on in the average market. And as I get more information about that, I'll let you know. Corsa did add Claremont County just recently. So again, you'll see in the green, those are all Corsa counties. The ones in the gray are not Corsa counties. And again, you gentlemen know that like Franklin County, down in Cincinnati and some of the bigger areas like Cleveland, Corsa really doesn't want to be in those areas anyway. So moving on to the second page, it's just the program structure. No real changes as far as the member deductibles, the first layer. Then you've got the self-insured retention. Then you've got the reinsurance layers over that. Hartford Steam Boiler is over the equipment breakdown. County Re is over the property and liability and etc. I did down at the bottom screen on that, The total insured values for property are roughly $20.5 billion now. So that's a substantial amount of property. So that's why when major storms go through, somebody's getting hit somewhere in the state. That's of course insured. Total payrolls over 2.4 billion. Number of autos went down a little bit last year. Corsa really got after all of us agents to go in and try and look at, and they want more and more information from us every year. Building information, routes, etc. Well, they went in and they looked, did they have any equipment duplication, any vehicles? Some of the agents found some duplicate vehicles and etc. So that's why we've got a decrease in the number of vehicles. Next page just sums up the renewal program and how Corsa goes out to get their excess coverages, you know, and it goes out to the actuaries and everything. So it just shows you the various components. The cost increase comparison is where I'm really happy and excited. Overall, if you look at bottom right corner of that, you'll see 26 to 27, average of a 5% increase on program costs. That to me is outstanding. Because again, you've got to take into consideration property values haven't gone down. They adjusted those a little bit for inflation and reconstruction costs. So for us to only have about a 5% overall for the program, I'm thrilled about that. Property stabilizing a little bit. Nuclear verdicts, not so much yet, so we've still got exposure. Law enforcement exposure and liability is one of the key components to that. But otherwise, very good. So I was tickled about that. Talking about law enforcement, you gentlemen know that replacing some of the equipment in those vehicles, if they're damaged, that equipment's expensive. I've always added that equipment as extra to make sure that if one of our vehicles is totaled, the other person doesn't have appropriate coverage, we still come out fine. But what they did is now they're letting us do that equipment at replacement cost, which is even better. On the agent side, we'll schedule it a little differently, but again, it's just helping us improve a little bit. Gives an example of the annualized loss fund. And then on the next page, you'll see invoices will be coming out this coming week. So we'll see those. I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of that. I'll get a copy to our auditor, and we'll be in good shape on that. The invoice or the memorandum of coverage and the coverage agreement will have, generally I figure about a week before May 1, right in that time frame. They did change the cyber coverage a little bit. Cyber is a line of coverage that is a growing issue, which is why, whether it's public entity or private, companies are asking a lot of questions. They did change some of this to go outside of the cyber coverage, put it back on the crime coverage, which is better for us if there's an incident. So I was happy with that. Ransomware tier, based on the answers from our various departments, you'll see that there's a tiered level for coverages this year, and they take it based on what the least effective answers were. So we've got several different departments. Andy handles quite a few of the departments and does an awesome job. But we've got some other departments that operate a little differently. So that's how we'll be tiered on the cyber coverage. Certificates, every year, Kathy does a great job. She gets me the list of who we have using the crime coverage in lieu of a surety bond. And she'll update that, get it to me. I review it, get it to Corsa, and that covers everybody instead of us doing surety bonds like I used to do. So that's just a continuation. We've got some that automatically renew every year, and we need to send those to other parties. So Corsa will just generate those as usual. The next page, which shows contact information and then loss experience. The loss experience, as usual, again, I like numbers and seeing where the claims come from. So when I look at those numbers and slice and dice them, as usual, you look at law enforcement is a minimum frequency, but severity is pretty impactful. Property, kind of the same way. Again, because we've got a lot of property, when a claim happens, typically it's not minimal, and that goes across the state. Auto is got a lot of frequency, not as much severity, but Corsa is really looking at that this year, trying to see how they can be proactive to help bring those types of claims down. Next page, it'll just show you that there's loss control credits and grants and services that they've had last year. They're continuing for this year. Some really good programs between seminars, HR helpline, defensive driving, and et cetera. And then we, as usual, depending on what all we do, we can reap the benefits of that. Next page is the law enforcement reimbursement program and certified professional training for this year, the program they've got set up. I'll be going over and seeing Sheriff Lavender about that. I work with Mike Preston a fair amount as well, so I'll make sure those guys are aware of what Corsa's got, see how they can make the best use of those resources and tools that we've got for them. Corsa has allocated $300,000 for additional cybersecurity programs and reimbursement. So I'll get with Andy and some of the other folks and see how we can make best use of that. Anytime we can get a grant and use Corsa's money instead of our county money, I'm all for it. And they've been very good about programs over the years. So that's the quick summary. I think I stuck to pretty close to 10 minutes. So any questions for me? Now, Allie, I should say before that, Allie Redmond from Corsa, she always likes to come in and talk about the renewal as well. Typically takes us a little longer than what I just did, but she's always good to be able to come in and talk a little deeper and answer some additional questions. So if that's of interest, I'll throw that on the table as well.
You guys got any questions?
Nope.
I got
All right, Jack, I love it. You guys always have questions, so.
Let's talk about JDC.
Well, I figured that was going to happen. I figured, and understandably,
Yeah.
I see from both sides of things. Thing about the JDC, that situation was from that party's workmanship. So, you know, Corsa is no different than a traditional company in the sense, the memorandum of coverage and the coverage agreement find what coverage is, what's covered and what's not. So, but go ahead.
5% increase for next year is fantastic when you pick and choose what you're going to cover.
Well, it's no different than a typical insurance policy, though, in the sense when you read your home and your auto policy, it'll say these are covered causes of loss, and I agree with you. I'm the guy who went over as soon as I knew about it, and Jeremy and I did a walkthrough. I took a ton of pictures, walked through with those guys. It's obvious. And when you look inside the panel of the unit and you see it says use this size pipe and they didn't, that makes it pretty clear, doesn't it?
Well,
To me.
I would expect that you would you would cover it and then sue them?
Well, and so Corsa did take care of everything up to determining what the cause of loss was. And again, I'm happy to bring Ally in so you can talk to
Yeah.
her about it deeper.
I'll
Have no
get 5
problem.
counties worth of commissioners.
Yeah, no, and Jack, I see it from both sides. I'm a consumer too.
Well, you're a messenger, and I want you to understand.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take this personally,
Oh, no,
because you
I
and I are
don't.
friends.
Jack,
but-
yeah, I don't take this personal. Would I have liked to seen them pursue it and then subrogate? Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. For a lot of reasons. And you and I could sit down and have a long conversation on it.
Well, I'm not gonna kill the messenger either.
Oh, yeah,
I would
yeah.
rather talk to somebody directly.
Oh,
from Corsa. And
absolutely.
I've talked to John up at
Yeah.
CCAO.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
And
sure.
that just went way the wrong way.
Yeah, my personal, I'm torn on it, and here's why. Again, because the coverage agreement is like your policy. The memorandum of coverage is like your policy declaration pages. So it defines what's covered and what's not. And just like any home or auto policy or business or personal, the insurance company, or in this case, Corsa, can only pay what the contract allows. And my personal feelings are, would I have loved to see it, Corsa take care of it and subrogate it? Absolutely. Because, again, they've got some pretty good clout. When you've got this many counties covered, they can get some things done that other people can't. If I hired an attorney, I can't afford the biggest and the best. Now, even though I think this case will resolve, again, it's really clear to me, it was their workmanship. Should have been covered. Now, problem we've got, well, we've got to go through all the legal fees, the time and everything else. And just what I saw and what I see and what I know, that's a huge pain in the posterior. Not to mention everything between what the employees go through, what Jeremy goes through, Jeremy and Terry and everybody else, what they've had to do so that they can function day to day and week to week. It's a huge interruption to what they have to deal with. On top of
Not only that, but future risk of lawsuits. If somebody gets sick, one of the kids in there gets sick?
Yes.
One of the people in there gets sick?
Yes, whether it's employee or one of the other people that's in there. 100% with you. But again, at the end of the day, what should happen, if this goes the way I think anybody with, I'd say common sense, but that's not
No,
right.
there's no common
No,
sense.
there's not anymore. But let's say if it goes the way it should, the JDC should be made whole for everything at the end of the day. Now, is that going to be a while? Yeah. Is that frustrating beyond belief? Absolutely. Is that something he shouldn't have to deal with, or the employees, or anybody else? I agree. I won't get any argument. But, again, they can only go by the agreement. They paid for everything up to and helping to determine what was going on. So, if I'm just going purely by the contract, they met the contract. But if I go what I would like to see, I'm 100% with you. No argument.
Yeah, this didn't manifest itself until the weather got warm.
Oh, no.
And you
Yeah.
entered
Now,
into the
but
question.
again, when I talked with Terry, as I went through that first day, I must have taken 40 or 50 pictures. And what I saw made me sick to my stomach. Just knowing how, I mean, what they were dealing with at that day, let alone beyond there. But like Terry said, once those 3 units were installed, she started seeing something wrong, and so did Jeremy within like the first 30 days. But then the weather changed, and that company said, oh no, it's more efficient unit, you're gonna see some differences and changes, and I get that to a degree, but they should have come back out and done some additional things
Well,
instead
they
of
tried to
just
get it
blowing.
back out.
Oh yeah, they did, and they said, it's normal.
No, the
Well-
company transitioned to a new owner and they said tough shit, is what they said.
Well, yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's the brutal, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then when, in the spring, when the weather changed, that's when it all hit the fan, and understandably so. So, yeah, no, I'm with it. If you want me to bring in Ally,
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
Yeah.
She normally likes to come in before May. I'll try, and I told her a couple weeks ago that, yeah, it would be good to
I'd
schedule.
like her to go out there
Oh, yeah.
with me, with Jeremy.
Yeah, yeah. I will try and arrange that for you.
Okay.
And in fact, actually, it would be good maybe if I could get Jeff Knapp or somebody down here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
All right.
Have you got any dates that work particularly good for you, or any that I should avoid?
Just Mondays.
Okay.
So we have this meeting then.
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. She would like to come down and meet with you all, so I'll set that for Monday. I'll check with Kathy, maybe end of day today or tomorrow, as soon as I can get with Ally, see when she's available. And then, yeah, but then, yeah, I think a second time, since that one would be on a Monday, get her down here and/or Jeff, and maybe if we can get somebody else.
Yeah, she's coming out from Columbus, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not a big trip.
Well, she lives over in Logan though.
Oh,
So-
that's even better.
Yeah, yeah, so let me see what I can do.
Okay.
But yeah, no, please, I don't take any offense.
Yeah.
I understand exactly what you're saying. And again, my personal side says absolutely, I'm right with you guys. But I have to look at from the company side and as an agent, what's the contract say?
Right.
So, yeah. But if you look at any,
It's called Regis Ball Brand.
well, if you look at any standard policy, they're gonna exclude workmanship from somebody else. Whether it's personal lines or whether it's commercial lines especially, but you have to slice and dice the commercial policies because it may not be covered in one area, but there's coverage elsewhere. So, yeah. Any other questions or anything I can do for you guys?
Yep. No.
Okay. Well,
Appreciate
I
you.
know everybody
Thank you.
knows how to reach me, so as always, let me know of anything I can do.
Thanks, sir.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you guys. Good seeing you.
Anyway.
Kathy, I'll give you a shout.
Okay.
See you. Good seeing you.
Motion to recess.
Okay.
Jeff?
Recess until noon. Right?
Motion to reconvene, mate.
Yeah, I'll second.
Almost forgot. But watch the clock never works. Feels like the minutes are taking forever.
When you're in school, you wait for that recess bell.
At the magic night.
You mean business?
How's John Glenn coming along? Airport?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big job, man. Huge job.
All right, after 12 o'clock. So we'll continue with the bid opening for the Hopewell Visitor Center.
Dangerous over there, you better watch out, Jim. Alfred, first one, how many you? Settingland?
Setterman?
Setterman. Yeah, yes. Okay. Look. Ooh.
For Elford, we got bid for $4,995,000.
Next.
Sutherland, bid for $4,600,000.
Oh, shoot. 2K General Company.
$2K General Company's bid is $5,259,000.
Ferguson Construction.
Ferguson Construction is $5,447,000.
German Construction.
Drummond Construction is $3,879,500.
I didn't see anything.
Equity Construction Solutions,
It's up here.
I don't look at that part.
or right there. It's your glasses, blame it on your glasses.
New glasses too now.
Okay, Equity Construction is $4,347,800.
North Rose General Contracting.
That's the final envelope.
This is the final envelope.
North Rose General Contracting, $4,500,000.
And all of them?
That's all of them.
Those will go to Dan McCluskey at Structure Point for his review and our attorney's review, and then we'll let y'all know what, which side.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all coming in today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys had us scared there for a while when we had none on like 11 o'clock. Thanks a lot, gentlemen.
Thank you.
For the good of the order of the regular session.
You guys can go to lunch now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. May the 4th.
See you now. May the 4th be with you. Oh, for tuck.
That one too.
All right, well, make a motion that we adjourn today. We have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say